Budget with Me videos are back, and today I'm sharing our October 2022 budget, so stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a budget with me video, which I haven't done in a long time, to share with you our actual household budget for the month of October. So I used to share these videos every single month, and I did that for years. And then I had a baby in June, kind of taking some time off for maternity leave, and then was trying to reevaluate how I wanted to present this with my channel, just because I also value privacy, and when I share my personal household budget, there's a lot of things that aren't as private there. So I am gonna do things a little bit differently, but I still want to give you guys the gist of our budget. So we'll see how this goes and how it might change, but I'm really glad to be sharing this with you guys. I know that a lot of you have said that you enjoy watching these videos and it's helpful for you and encouraging for you, and I want to encourage you on your budgeting journey. So I am excited to share that today. Before we get into it, I want to let you know the budget template that I'm using is one that you can get yourself on my shop. I will have a link to that below. Or you can also check out my new budgeting course, everything you need to know about budgeting, called Budget to Your Dream Life, and it helps you walk through how you can enjoy life and accomplish financial goals through a budget. So you'll learn exactly how to budget and manage your finances so that you can move forward in working on those goals and also do things that you still enjoy in life. And when you sign up for that course, you also get this budget template included, and you get a bunch of other templates included as well. So I will leave a link to that down below, and you can check that out there. And that has been a really fun course to create and share with you guys. So, okay, without further ado, let's get into this budget. I am getting over a cold for the last 2 weeks, so if that's why I sound congested, that would be why. All right, so the first thing that we have here is our income section. So we have Jacob's income and my income. This is business, this is mine. I have this individually blocked out, but I show you our total household take-home pay, $10,200 that we're expecting this month. So I work for myself for my business. I pay myself a steady salary out of my business every single month. Jacob does work for an employer, and he's a W-2 employee. This month he's actually getting an extra paycheck, so our take-home pay is a bit higher because of that, of what we anticipate bringing home. And this is our pay after taxes, insurance, 401k deductions, HSA, dependent care, FSA, lots of stuff. So this is the take-home pay, what hits our bank account. So we use a zero-based budget, which means that all of our income equals all of our money out. So let me show you where we plan to spend all of this money, spend or save all of this money this month. So the first thing that we have here, normal expenses, we have our tithe, African New Life, and missions. So we are Christians and we believe in giving to our church and other organizations. I'm just going to keep this private for now here. So this is to our church. We support 2 children in Rwanda through African New Life and another missions organization. Next we have is our mortgage, and that is $2,206.28. So we live in the Portland, Oregon area. We bought our house 3 years ago now, and I'm really grateful that we bought when we did. And we have a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house. So this is our standard mortgage payment, which includes taxes and insurance as well. Next we have is our HOA. We do live in a neighborhood with a homeowners association, so that's $121.46. Next is water sewer, which is always right around $95, so I just carried that over, $93.85. Then natural gas, I have it $40 because this month of September, it's still been warmer weather, so we haven't run the heat yet. So we should have minimal natural gas usage. Next we have is trash, and trash we pay every other month, so this month is a trash month. We did bump up our trash can size right before our second son Jack was born in June, and so we are now paying a little bit more for trash, but that's okay. Next we have is electric, and I budgeted $100 for that just because it's a little bit higher with running our air conditioning. Like I said, we are in Portland, Oregon, so it doesn't get very hot, but we have a newborn and we're trying to keep, our house at a consistent temperature, so we have been utilizing air conditioning. And I do know that our electric costs are a lot lower than other parts of the country, but our highest month this summer, I think we spent like $120 on air conditioning, and that was keeping our house at a steady 71 degrees like all summer. Next we have is internet, and that is standard $44.99 each month. Then we have our phones. This is for my cell phone and Jacob's, and that together is $115. Then we have insurance. This is car insurance for both of our cars. We have a 2018 Highlander and a 2013 RAV4. Next we have is life insurance, and we have a policy on myself and my husband Jacob, and that is $52.89 each month for that premium. And we have a term life insurance policy. Next we have is groceries. I've budgeted $450, and it seems crazy that that would even be $450, but that's not even all of our grocery expenses. So my family, I guess I didn't share like our family makeup if you're new around here, but our family consists of myself, my husband Jacob, our 2-year-old son Peter, and our 3-month, almost 4-month-old son Jack. And so only 3 of us eat food right now, but it's insane, the grocery costs, and I know that you guys are feeling that as well. But $450 is basically what we're going to spend on Costco stuff, as well as like weekly grocery trips to kind of get like staples and lunch things. But we also do HelloFresh. I've loved doing HelloFresh. I signed up for it myself almost a year ago, and we have continued to do it because we love it so much. I feel like we're eating healthier, we're learning to cook more, we have greater variety in our meals, and so I've just really enjoyed it. And with food costs in general being so high now, getting HelloFresh hasn't seemed to be any more expensive than if I were to go get all of those ingredients myself. So we've really enjoyed it. And with that, I've shared about HelloFresh here on my channel, and I have like a referral link where if you want to sign up for HelloFresh with my referral, you get $150 off HelloFresh, which is awesome, and you can pause or cancel anytime. And then I get $10. So I know $10 isn't much, but it's added up. So thanks for those of you who have used my code, because we are still continuing to do HelloFresh, but because I've had all these referrals, we haven't had to pay for it in a while. So really grateful for that. And also, if you want to try out HelloFresh, add some variety to your meals, again, you can pause or cancel anytime, but we've loved it. I'll have a link to that down below as well. Next we have is eating out. I've budgeted here at $150, which is only like 3 times out. Maybe 4 if we do like takeout kind of stuff. But this week we went to brunch. Jacob and I went to brunch, and we paid $50 for brunch. Mind you, it was my favorite place, but it's insane. Like $50 for breakfast is crazy. So this is my husband Jacob's last full week of paid parental leave. He's had 16 weeks off, like fully paid. It's been amazing. This is his last week, so trying to be soaking that up and enjoying that. So we went out to brunch this week. Okay, next we have is gas, and we budgeted $175. My husband Jacob works from home. I stay at home and run my business. So we don't really have a lot of commuting, just basically going around town or going to whatever things we want to do. So we don't spend that much. But again, gas is also high, so that's increased a little bit as well. But I'm grateful that we don't need to have a commute, so we aren't spending as much on gas as we could be. Next we have is fun. I have budgeted here for $50 for fun. Maybe we can do some sort of fun fall activity. We already actually went to the pumpkin patch this year, and we had fun doing that. We did that earlier this week. Next we have is miscellaneous. You always need a miscellaneous category in your budget because there's always something random that comes up. So we have in there as like a little buffer. Next we have is Peter's school. So my son Peter, he's 2. He goes to school a couple days a week. He absolutely loves it. And so we obviously have to pay for that. We have a dependent care FSA, which comes out of Jacob's paycheck. And so we are using that to like cover, some costs of school, but it doesn't cover everything. So we'll have to pay for some of it out of pocket. So I have that here as a line item in our budget that we pay for Peter's school. Next we have is the Roth IRA. And this is a big one that I'll update you guys with, because our plan this year was to be able to max out 2 Roth IRAs, one for Jacob and one for myself, each is $6,000. And then we're also contributing to my husband's 401k, at least to get the employer match. We actually have been contributing even more to that. But right now we just really want to increase our emergency fund, because I know times are kind of crazy right now financially, and recession talk, and we have a family of 4. There's just a lot of things that are playing into this that we just want to have extra cash on hand. So we're trying to build up our emergency fund more. We also did some things earlier this summer, more investment wise, which if you want me to make a video about it, I can, but it was more investment wise for our sons. So we haven't been putting as much we didn't put anything to the emergency fund really, because we were trying to take care of some things for the boys. So I could do a video on that if you want, but we basically put in some money for like brokerage accounts for them for when they're older, and trying to take advantage of them being super young and having so much time that it could hopefully grow. So therefore we're kind of not doing the Roth IRA right now because we're trying to increase our emergency fund a bit more. But I will say we did max out Jacob's already, and we've put 2,000 or 3,000 to mine, and so we're just a little bit short, and so maybe at the end of the year we can reevaluate and we can put money to that. But right now I just want to hold on to more cash for us personally. So Roth IRA, we're not putting anything to it this month. Next we have is college. So we're putting $200 a month to each boy's $529, trying to save early for it now. And the one thing that I kind of feel weird about with this is that I always tell people, do not put your kids' college funding ahead of your own retirement funding. Your retirement is definitely more of a priority. And so with this, I feel kind of weird of like, oh, we're putting $200 each month to the kids' $529, but we're not putting to the Roth IRA. But we still have put a big chunk to retirement, and we're still on track to put at least like 15% to our retirement. So we still have done that. We just did it kind of earlier in the year. So I'm still trying to just be consistent with the boys' $529. But for anyone else out there, like if you are putting money to your kids' $529, but you're not putting to your retirement, or you're putting like equal amounts to $529 as you are your own retirement, like that's something that you need to reevaluate, because your retirement should be the priority, and your kids can figure out what they need to do for college, whether that's getting scholarships or, you know, taking on debt if they need to. But you don't want the burden of your retirement to then be put on your kids later. So your retirement is definitely more of a priority. Okay, so all that to be said, our total money out is $5,525.41. Now, I know that this is expenses, and we have here like college savings and things like that, which is going towards savings, but this is all the money that goes out of my bank account, $5,525.41. So next, let's move into the savings section of the budget. So these are all of the big things that we are saving for, like our sinking funds in our budget. So the first thing that we have here that you'll see is our emergency fund. So we are planning to put $3,281.09 to that. So this is where every extra penny is going right now, to the emergency fund. And this is going to be a big month to add to that, and I'll feel like a lot better, I think, after we get this underway, and hopefully in a couple more months then we'll be like good to go for the emergency fund. The other thing I wanted to note is I have blocked out this for the beginning and ending balances for our sinking funds. And previously in these budget with me videos, I would block these out just because you haven't seen how our last month went. Like, I'm still recording this in September, so you haven't seen how the rest of the month went. But honestly, maybe moving forward, this is something that I might keep blocked off just for more privacy that I was talking about earlier. I'm trying to find a middle ground of like what I feel comfortable with, but I also want to share the details for you guys, but I also want to honor my family's privacy. And maybe this is one of those things of like blocking out how much is in each fund or how much total cash we have, kind of thing. But maybe I'll share some things like once we reach goals like that emergency fund goal and things like that. But right now I do have this blocked out. But I will say that our emergency fund goal, we're wanting to save around 6 months of necessary expenses in our emergency fund. So that's our overall goal. I like the threshold of between 3 to 6 months of expenses, depending on your family makeup or your income situation. If you have a single income family or a dual income family, like all of this kind of plays into how much you should save in your emergency fund, as well as like, do you have no kids or do you have 4 kids? Like all of that plays into how much you'd want to have. And so we're trying to increase that a bit more and be more on the higher end of like 6 months of expenses. Next we have is Jacob. Jacob gets $250 of personal spending money each month. I get $100. The only reason why that's different is because Jacob's more of a spender and he values that more. I would rather have money go to the emergency fund. I don't really have a bunch of things that I like to spend money on. Oh, I accidentally deleted it there. Okay, next we have is extra giving. We put $50 a month into an extra giving fund, which allows us to say yes to additional giving opportunities if they come up. Then we have $50 going towards gifts for things like baby showers or weddings, things like that. Next we have is clothing. We're putting $25 a month into a clothing fund for Jacob and I to cover like necessary clothing expenses. We don't really have a lot though. Then we have vacation and Christmas, both of which we aren't putting any money into because we have really small children right now and we don't have any vacation planned. And then also for Christmas, we are actually utilizing our credit card rewards to be able to get cash back and use that for our Christmas fund. So we have a USAA card that gives us 1.5% cash back on everything. So we've always utilized that for Christmas expenses, and we plan to do the same this year. Next we have is medical. We're putting $25 into medical each month to cover medical and health types of expenses. We spent a lot on medical earlier this year because I had a baby. So we paid for all of that out of pocket. We've paid over $6,000 towards medical costs. So we've kind of paid all of it now. So for the rest of the year, we've hit our family max out of pocket. So for the rest of the year, we shouldn't have any other like medical bills come up, but more so just like if we have to buy Band-Aids or, you know, things like that. Next we have is cord blood registry. We did cord blood banking with my son Peter, and that has an annual fee, so we just save for it each month with the sinking fund by taking that annual fee and dividing it by 12, save that much each month, so then when it rolls around, we have the money set aside. Next we have is dues and subs. So this is other things that we have to pay for annually. We're just saving $37.50 each month, and that way when like a car registration comes up or the Costco membership renewal comes up, like we have money in this fund that we can use and it doesn't throw off that month's budget. Next we have car maintenance at $75 each month, and then house maintenance at $400. We have household, so things like toilet paper, paper towels, like other household supply things at $100. And then baby, or this is now kids, and we have that at $250 each month, which goes into their sinking fund. So what you don't see here in this template is the beginning and ending balance, but basically you can take last month's ending balance, copy and paste it over into the beginning balance here, and then the ending balance is going to calculate what was the actual like added into it minus what was spent, and then also adding in the beginning balance to then give you an ending balance. So it's kind of like a running total then of when you put money in, and then when you spend money out of that fund, it'll then give you that ending balance that then carries over. So you know how much is in each sinking fund. And the way the sinking funds work, like some people will open up a separate bank account for each sinking fund that they're saving towards. But for me personally, I like to just keep the grand total of everything in one account, and then I just use my budget spreadsheet here to know how much is in each fund. So that's how I work mine, but you could do it the other way of opening a bank account for each line item, and that's totally fine too. There's no hard and fast rules there. Okay, but all together at the end of the day, we are taking the total expenses plus the savings because we don't have any debt besides our mortgage, and that is $10,200. I have the cell down here that calculates the difference between the money out and also the income, and that is 0, which means that we have a zero-based budget. We have everything set, ready to go for our month, and I'm excited to see how October goes as we're closing out the year, last quarter of the year. So Budget With Me videos are back. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that this gives you some sort of encouragement for you as you are budgeting for this month. Let me know in the comments below how your October is looking for your budget. And also don't forget to check out this budget template and also my Budget to Your Dream Life course where you can learn all about budgeting, get your budget set up, and be on your way towards working on your financial goals and enjoying your life, because that's important too. And with that, I'll look forward to seeing you in that next video. Bye.